Hello students, myself Sangeeta and you are watching eBengal. There is a good news for you all guys. A new series on social science of CBSE board from class 6 to 12 is going to start on this channel. So stay tuned guys. Today's topic is going to be very interesting as we study about our own country, that is our India, in this video. As you see in the slide, this is the first chapter of class 9 geography NCERT, that is India, size and location. Before going to start, an important point is that only factual questions have been asked from this chapter, that is very short answer type questions. For example, what is the latitudinal and longitudinal extension of India? What are the neighboring countries of India? What is size of India? Etc. Okay, so let's get started. At first, we have to know the location of India in the world map. As you can see in the world map, there are different continents. How many continents are there? There are 7 continents is given. First is North America, South America, Africa, Europe, Asia, Australia. Okay, and here is the Antarctica. Among the 7 continents, in Asia continent our country lies, as you can see in the picture. Okay. One point to note down here is, this is our equator whose value is 0 degree, and this imaginary line is our prime meridian whose value is also 0 degree. So, equator divides Earth into 2 hemispheres. One is northern hemisphere and the another is southern hemisphere. And prime meridian divides Earth into 2 equal hemispheres also. One is eastern hemisphere and the other is western hemisphere. As you can see from the map, India is located in the north and eastern hemisphere. That means India's location is mainly in the northern and eastern hemisphere. Okay, you can take up the screenshot as the notes of this chapter. India lies entirely in the northern and eastern hemisphere. As I already said, India's mainland extends between 8 degree 4 minute north and 37 degree 6 minute north latitudes, and 68 degree 7 minute east and 97 degree 25 minute east longitudes. So this is the latitudinal and longitudinal extension of India. You have to remember this. As we can see in the diagram, this is the picture. Here is the latitudes given, 8 degree 4 minute north latitudes to 37 degree 6 minute north latitudes. Again, this is the easternmost longitude, that is 97 degree 25 minute east longitude, and this is the westernmost longitude of India, that is 68 degree 7 minute east longitude. So you have to remember the latitudinal as well as longitudinal extension of India. Okay. Third point is the Tropic of Cancer, which is an imaginary line, the value of which is 23 degree 30 minute north latitudes, divides India into 2 almost equal parts. That means Tropic of Cancer passes almost through the middle of the country. The northernmost point of India, which is under Indian administration, is near Indira Col, that is Siachen Glacier. So we have to remember that India's northernmost point is Indira Col. Okay. Next point. The southernmost point in India is Indira Point. Okay, don't be confused. Indira Col is the northernmost point of India, while Indira Point is the southernmost point of India, which lies on Nicobar Island. Do you know that this Indira Point got submerged under the seawater in the year 2004 during the tsunami? Next, to the southeast and southwest of the mainland lie the Andaman and Nicobar Islands and the Lakshadweep Islands in the Bay of Bengal and Arabian Sea respectively. So, in the map, to the southeast and southwest of mainland, wait, okay, north, south, east, west, okay. The southeast, to the southeast we can say the Andaman and Nicobar Island here, and to the southwest we can see Lakshadweep Islands, okay. So Andaman and Nicobar Islands are group of islands which are located in the Bay of Bengal to the southeast of India. Again, Lakshadweep Islands are group of islands which are located in the Arabian Sea to the southwest of the country. Hope it is clear to you right now. Next point. So this point is clear. This is all about our location. Next is size of our country. Covering an area of 3.28 million square kilometer. That means what is the total land area of our country? 3.28 million square kilometer. Keep in mind, India's total area is 2.4% of the total geographical area of the world. So, India contributes 2.4% of the total geographical area of the world. Okay, this data you should also remember. As you can see in this diagram, this is bar diagram showing the largest countries of the world. Area wise, India is the world's 7th largest country with a land boundary of about 15,200 km and with the total length of the coastline being 7,516.6 km. So what do we understand from this point actually? India is the 7th largest country according to its area. So which is the first largest country of the world? Russia. Second largest country of the world? Canada. Third largest country of the world? USA. Fourth largest country of the world? China. Fifth largest country of the world? Brazil. Sixth largest country of the world? Australia. And seventh largest country of the world is our India. Okay. One data we should also keep in mind is the total land boundary of India is 15,200 km. That means total land boundary means it starts from here, from Gujarat. This land boundary's length is 15,200 km. Okay, always remember. And what is its coastline's length? Coastline is here from Gujarat coast. So coastline's length is 7,516.6 km. Okay. So always remember the largest countries of the world. Okay, Russia, Canada, USA, China, Brazil, Australia, and then India. Okay, India is bounded by the Yangtze Mountains in the northwest, north and northeast, as you can see in the map. India is bounded by the Yangtze Mountains, that is Himalayas. Okay, Himalayas surrounded the country in the north, northeast and northwest. South of about 22 degree north latitude, it begins to taper and extend towards the Indian Ocean, dividing it into two seas. You can see in this map that south of about 22 degree latitude, that is from here, India begins to taper down and it extends into two seas. One is Arabian Sea and the other is Bay of Bengal. From Gujarat to Arunachal Pradesh, there is a time lag of 2 hours. Okay, wait. At first, this point should be cleared. The latitudinal and longitudinal extent of mainland is about 30 degree. How can we came at this conclusion that the difference is 30 degree of longitude and latitude? So, the latitude is here 8 degree 4 minute north and 37 degree 6 minute north. If you subtract these, you can say that the difference between latitudes is 30 degree. That means latitudinal and longitudinal both extension of the mainland is about 30 degree. From Gujarat to Arunachal Pradesh, there is a time lag of 2 hours. As you know, 1 degree means 4 minute. 1 degree longitude means 4 minute. So, Arunachal Pradesh is here, Gujarat is here. The longitude is 97 degree 25 minute and 68 degree 7 minute. The difference is 30 degree. If 1 degree is equal to 4 minute difference, then 30 degree is equal to 4 into 30 is equal to 120 minutes. Okay, that means the time lag between Arunachal Pradesh and Gujarat is of 120 minutes, that is 2 hours. Okay, hence time along the standard meridian of India, again a point to remember, standard meridian of India is 82 degree and 30 minute east, which passes through Mirzapur in Uttar Pradesh, and it is taken as the standard time for the whole country. We can see the sunrise in Arunachal Pradesh 2 hours earlier than Gujarat. Okay. Next point. The latitudinal extent influences the duration of the day and night as one moves from south to north. As we move from south to north, we can see the latitudinal extent affects or influences the duration of the day and night. It affects the duration of the day and night. Okay. Here is a question as your homework. You have to give the answer in the comment section. I will tell the answer in my next video. Why 82 degree 30 minute east has been selected as the standard meridian of India. Okay. So we have studied about the location of India. We have studied about the size of our India. Now I will teach you India and the world. In this section, we will study about the relationship between India and the world. The Indian landmass is centrally located between West and East Asia. So we know that India is located in the Asia continent and it is centrally located in the west, in between West and East Asia. India's protruding Deccan Peninsula helped India to establish close contacts with West Asia, Africa and Europe, Southeast and East Asia. Actually, Deccan Peninsula produced in the Indian Ocean, right? Thus helping India to establish its close contact with West Asia. Due to Deccan Peninsula and Indian Ocean, India's contacts with West Asia, Africa and Europe from the western coast and with Southeast and East Asia from the eastern coast is very good. India's contacts with the world via land routes are much more than its maritime contacts. Okay. India has contributed a lot to the world in forms of ideas, philosophies like Upanishads, Ramayana, Panchtantra, and in mathematics like Indian numerals, decimal system, algebra, trigonometry, and calculus. So, in the map, we can understand this is the world map. As you can see, this is West Asia and this is East Asia. India is centrally located in between both of these, West Asia and East Asia. India is a southward extension of the Asian continent. We can say that India is located in the South Asia. The Trans-Indian Ocean routes which connect the countries of Europe in the west and the countries of East Asia provide a strategic central location to India. Okay. Next point is Deccan Peninsula produces in the Indian Ocean, right? It helps India to establish the contacts between these countries with the help of Indian Ocean, Africa, Europe, then America. Okay. Do you know that India is a subcontinent? The all characteristics or physical features of a continent lies in India. That's why India is termed as a subcontinent. And there is an ocean in the name of India, which is Indian Ocean. Actually, no other country has a long coastline on the Indian Ocean as India has, and indeed, it is India's eminent position in the Indian Ocean which justifies the naming of an ocean after it. I hope it is clear to you now. Okay. So, India has contributed also a lot to the world in the forms of ideas and philosophies that I told you earlier. In exchange, India's architecture was influenced by Greek sculpture and architectural styles from West Asia. There is again a question as homework for you. Why is the difference between the durations of day and night hardly felt at Kanyakumari but not so in Kashmir? I will tell the answer in my next video. Do write the answers of both these questions in the comment section. Okay. India has an important position in South Asia and has 28 states and 8 union territories. In your NCERT book, it is given that there are 29 states and 7 union territories, but it is not correct right now. It has changed because Jammu and Kashmir is not a state right now. It became a union territory and it divides into Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh. So Ladakh and Jammu and Kashmir are union territories now, not a state. So there are 28 states and 8 union territories. Can you please name the 8 union territories of India? Please write down in the comment section. It's also your homework, okay? India shares its land boundaries with Pakistan and Afghanistan in the northwest. That means Pakistan and Afghanistan lies in the northwest of India. China, Tibet, Nepal and Bhutan in the north of the country, and Myanmar and Bangladesh in the east of the country. Okay. Bangladesh is the country which shares its largest boundary with India. Always remember that. Our southern neighbors across the sea consist of two island countries. That means two island countries are also our neighboring countries, namely Sri Lanka and Maldives. Sri Lanka is separated from India by a narrow channel of sea formed by Park Strait and the Gulf of Mannar, while Maldives Islands are situated to the south of Lakshadweep Islands. As you can see in this map, Sri Lanka is separated from India and this line is known as Park Strait. Whereas Maldives is also island country of India. This is located or we can say situated to the south of Lakshadweep Island. Okay. India stands apart from the rest of Asia and is called a subcontinent. I told you this, that India stands a strategic position apart from the rest of Asia, and that's why it is called a subcontinent. Do you know, before 1947, there were two types of states in India, the provinces and the princely states. Provinces were ruled directly by British officials who were appointed by the viceroy, whereas princely states were ruled by local hereditary rulers who acknowledged sovereignty in return for local autonomy. So, this is all about the first chapter of NCERT Geography Class 9. Thanks for watching. If you like the video, please do like, share, comment and subscribe. In our next video, we will meet with the NCERT solutions of this chapter. That means exercise of this chapter. Okay? Till then, goodbye. Stay safe. Stay home.